I used to think madness skipped generations in my family, that it was just trauma, inheritance. But then I found the journal, not mine, my great-grandfather's. Inside were sketches of wolves with human eyes, pages soaked in something darker than ink. He wrote about the hunger, about hiding his teeth, and the final entry. It just said, "You'll feel it too," and the worst part. I think he was right. The monster was never in the woods. It was always in the blood. To understand, you have to follow. So let's begin. They always said madness ran in our family. But they never said it how it truly was: teeth, claws, and hunger. Not whispers in the attic. Not old sins swept under velvet rugs, no. This was primal, this was feral, this was something far older than secrets. I used to look at the old family portrait in the hallway, black and white. Smiling faces, stiff posture, proud blood. I didn't realize then. The truth wasn't in their eyes, it was in the shadows behind them. My great-grandfather vanished under a harvest moon. My uncle tore his own eyes out during a church sermon. They called it bad blood, said it skipped a generation. They lied. You ever wonder why you wake up howling in dreams you don't remember? Or why the woods feel more like home than your own bed? That itch in your bones during the full moon? That's not superstition, it's memory. Blood has memory, and mine. Mine remembers running on all fours. Every curse starts with a pact. Somewhere, someone in our line made a deal they couldn't unmake. Now we all pay the price. You think you're safe because you're civilized, because you drink coffee and check your email. You've no idea. Look closely at your family tree, not the names, the gaps, the missing branches, the generations that disappeared under strange circumstances. That's where it lives. That's where the curse curls up and waits, waiting for you, because it doesn't start when you get bitten. It starts when you're born. So ask yourself this: what if the monster you fear in the woods is just the echo of the monster inside you? Keep watching. The transformation begins in blood and ends in truth. It started with a sound, not outside, inside, a low growl, curling up from somewhere deep in my chest. Like my lungs had teeth, I thought I was sick, fever, hallucinations. But fever doesn't make your spine crack like dry branches. Hallucinations don't leave claw marks on your door. From the inside, the night it happened, the moon was swollen. Red not the soft silver romance they write about. No, this was blood moon. This was omen. This was promise. My fingers, they bent the wrong way, popped like joints with no mercy. Skin stretched until it tore, black fur sprouting like rot blooming in time-lapse. My mouth filled with the taste of copper, then more teeth, too many, too sharp. I screamed until my voice was something else, not human, not animal, just rage and agony and hunger, woven into one terrible note. And then it all faded. Not the pain that stayed, but me faded. I watched from behind my own eyes, as the thing that used to be me tore through the woods, chased down something I don't even know what. A deer, a dog, a man. I don't want to know, because when I woke up, naked blood-slick mouth, full of fur that wasn't mini, I remembered enjoying it. That's the part they don't tell you in the stories. It's not just a curse, it's a seduction. The beast doesn't take you by force. It waits until you want to be taken, and in that moment, I didn't want the pain to stop. I wanted more. The beast is born in pain, but it thrives in desire. If you've ever wanted to lose control, you might already be changing. There's no manual for being a monster, no support groups, no hotline. Just silence into the eyes of the people who love you, slowly learning not to trust you. They say, I've changed. Of course I have, but I keep the mask on, smile at work, text my mother, pay bills, all while knowing the thing inside me is counting down to the next moonrise. I lock myself away every full moon, silver chains, reinforced doors, self-imposed exile. You know what it's like to hear yourself howling from the inside? You know what it's like to wake up and realize your fingernails are gone, replaced by claws that retract like nothing ever happened. I started recording myself, watching the tapes. Bad idea. There's footage of me talking to someone who's not there, growling like a dog, laughing like a madman, Sometimes, I'm just staring at the camera. For hours, I don't remember filming any of it. People say lycanthropy is a curse. They're wrong. A curse is something put on you. This something uncovered. Something that was always there, waiting for the right trigger, a genetic time bomb wrapped in human skin, and it's not just me, my brother. Missing, my sister. Institutionalized, my father. Said he'd never let the beast out. He did. It took 3 sheriffs and a shotgun to stop him. I still have the newspaper clipping. It says, "Man gone rabid, in family cabin." That's the sanitized version, the truth. He died on all 4s. Snarling my name, I live with that, and worse, I understand it. Because some nights, when the hunger hits, I wonder what it would be like to stop resisting. To let go, to run through the trees and never look back. But I don't, because if I start, I won't stop. It's not the transformation that destroys you. It's pretending it never happened. How long could you hide your true nature from the people you love? From yourself? They always promise a cure, the witch in the woods. The priest with trembling hands. The scientist who looks at your DNA like it's a puzzle missing one grotesque piece. Silver bullets, they say, as if this is some fairy tale with a neat little ending. But silver doesn't kill the curse, it just hurts like hell. I tried it once. Not a bullet, a scalpel, silver-plated, blessed in holy water. I carved the sigil of Cain into my own flesh. Like the old book said, waited for the moon to rise. The beast still came, only this time it was angry. I've read everything from 15th century werewolf trials in France to obscure Reddit threads written at 3 a.m. by people who sound too familiar. One man claimed fasting could starve the beast. Another swore by wolfsbane, tea laced with mercury. Want to know what happened to him? He bled out, howling, his organs liquefied from the inside. I found the pictures. Then came the gene therapy guy. Said it was a recessive lycanthropic strain, as if this were just another rare disorder. He even found a cluster of mutations tied to lunar cycles, promising right. Until he tested it, his lab assistant turned during a new moon and tore out his throat. They locked it down, buried the results, but I have the footage. It's always the eyes that go first, the rest just follows. You can't science your way out of a myth, because this isn't just blood, it's legacy. It's woven into the spirit, anchored in the soul, and here's the sick parts some don't want to cure. They want the power, the clarity, the strength. They embrace it. Maybe they're right. Maybe fighting it is the real delusion. Is hope a cure? Or the last lie we tell ourselves before the final howl? If the beast can't be cured, maybe it has to be inherited. I thought I could outrun it. Thought if I buried the tapes, burned the journals, erased the bloodlines from ancestry sites, the curse would die with me. It didn't. It found my daughter. She's only 9. Sweet, smart, smiles like her mother, but last week, she came into my room, barefoot, eyes glowing faint red in the dark. And she asked Daddy, "Why do I dream about running through the woods?" I froze. Not because of the question, because I remembered asking it once. To a father who said nothing, just turned away and whispered, "Not yet, but now. It's her turn." That's how the curse survives, not by roaring, by waiting. Generation after generation, it slithers through DNA, skipping, hiding, coiling until one night it strikes. No ceremony, no bite, no warning, just a pulse beneath the skin, a craving, a crack in the mirror, and a howl that answers back. You can lock the doors. You can drug the symptoms, you can chant, bleed, kneel, beg, but blood remembers, always, and it doesn't just pass on. It evolves, sharper, stronger, smarter. Some say every bloodline has a price, a sacrifice that must be paid for the sins of our ancestors. But what happens when the debt comes due in your child's name? I don't want her to become what I am, but I see it already, the way she flinches at silver. The way her pupils widen in moonlight. The way she growls when she thinks no one's listening. So now, I have to make a choice, end the bloodline, or teach her how to survive it. I don't know which is worse. Some monsters are born, some are made, and some are inherited like heirlooms. Wrapped in flesh and bone, The real curse isn't the transformation, it's the legacy. There comes a night when you stop asking questions. No more why me, no more what if. Just one final choice: do I kill the beast, or let it kill me? Last full moon, I stood in front of a mirror, naked, scarred, trembling, claw marks across my own chest, pupils like a predator's, breath steaming in the cold silence. I held a gun in one hand, and a shard of silver glass in the other. I've studied every tale, every remedy, every ritual. Some say you can starve the wolf, others say you can trap it in your mind, but I know better now. You can't control the beast, you can only decide what it gets to destroy. Some give in, run into the night, howling their freedom into the trees. Let the instincts take over, let the blood spill. They say it's liberation, but what is freedom? If you wake up soaked in guilt, others try to end it, jump from cliffs, wrap silver chains around their necks, whisper apologies into voicemail inboxes before the moonlight hits. But the beast doesn't care about apologies, and me. I chose something worse. I looked into its eyes, my own eyes, and said, I won't kill you, but I won't let you win either. Now, every full moon, I walk into the forest, I bury my name, I let the beast run. But I never forget who I am. It's not peace, it's not salvation, it's war, every single time. But maybe, just maybe, that's what surviving a curse looks like. Not curing it, not escaping it, enduring it. The curse doesn't want your death, it wants your surrender. But sometimes, the most defiant thing you can do is live anyway. Take a breath, look around you. How well do you know your family? No, not the birthdays, not the recipes, the real stories, the ones no one writes down. The ones whispered behind closed doors, the missing cousins, the sudden deaths, the old attic your parents said to never go into. Go look, find the photo album, check for scratches that shouldn't be there. Marks you thought were water damage, look closer. They're clawed fingerprints. Still think this story was about someone else. You've felt it, haven't you? That surge of anger you couldn't explain. That urge to run beneath the moon. That dream where you're chasing something but wake up sweating, heart pounding, and teeth clenched, like you've been biting back a scream. You know what that is? Memory, not yours, your bloodlines. See, the curse doesn't care who you are. It only cares what you carry, and if you made it this far. If something inside you stirred while you watched, if a part of you agreed with the beast, then maybe it's already begun. You don't need to be bitten to be claimed. Some inherit their grandmother's eyes, others inherit her hunger. So I ask you, when the next full moon rises, and the shadows stretch too long, will you lock your door, or open it? The final howl isn't the end of the curse. It's the beginning of your confession. Look in the mirror. Look deep, if the eyes change. Don't look away, this story isn't over, it's just passed on. If it feels familiar, tell me, in the comments, what secrets live in your bloodline. And for those who hunger for more, step deeper into the shadows with our ultimate werewolf horror playlists, linked in the description below. In the world of horror, the scariest things happen when you least expect them, and trust me, you don't want to be left in the dark. Welcome to the darkness.